And welcome to this edition of the Native News Update on this Thursday, February 9th. I'm your host for today's program, Paul DeMain. Many of the stories read here can also be found at our website at IndianCountryNews.com, and here are some of the news stories for the day. The University of North Dakota will resume using its contentious Fighting Sioux nickname despite threats from the NCAA. The school's president said this week, marking the latest twist in a protracted fight about a name that critics considered offensive. A state law repealed last year had required the university to use its longtime nickname and use its logo that shows the profile of an American Indian warrior. But supporters of the name filed petitions earlier this week demanding that they should be put to a statewide vote. University President Robert Kelly said the school decided to resume using the name and logo to respect the state's referendum process, which requires that the pro-nickname law be in effect while the Secretary of State reviews the petition signatures. He has about a month to do that. The Georgia O'Keeffe Museum of Santa Fe is pleased to honor Juane Quick-To-See Smith as a living artist of distinction and will present the exhibition, Quick-To-See Smith, Landscapes of an American Modernist, from January 27th going through April 29th of this year. Smith is an enrolled Salish member of the Confederate Salish and Kootenai Nation, as one of the best-known Native American artists of the late 20th century. Smith distinguishes herself as a modernist in both her pursuit of abstraction and her expressive technique in oil paint, pastel, and printmaking. The exhibition is tightly focused on the paintings and works on paper produced by the artist between 1985 and 1991. During that period, Smith earned an international reputation as a prolific artist, curator of the contemporary Native American art, a popular teacher and lecturer, as well as an outspoken environmentalist. Those interests are expressed in her artwork, which visualizes her passions like a journal. Archaeologists have dug up thousands of pieces of history along the route of a planned train trench near the historic San Gabriel Mission in California. The Los Angeles Times says some 20,000 artifacts have been uncovered so far, including coins from the 1800s, chunks of pottery, Native American shells, and railroad spikes. A 30-member team of archaeologists is working along the path of the $498 million 2.2-mile trench that will lower existing train tracks 30 feet down, easing traffic tie-ups along the San Gabriel Valley route east of Los Angeles. A Mohawk who began digging up a capped toxic landfill near his reservation home in northern New York last summer has been indicted on felony and misdemeanor charges. Authorities say 57-year-old Larry Thompson drove a backhoe through the fence at the former General Motors plant in Messina and dug about a half acre from the top of the 12-acre landfill. He faces counts of criminal mischief, reckless endangerment, and resisting arrest. Part of the 270-acre industrial site made aluminum cylinder heads starting in 1958. It was designated a federal Superfund priority in 1984. Thompson said after his August 11th arrest last year that he was frustrated by the government decision to cap the landfill instead of removing the chemicals, blaming them for cancers among his family and other members of the Akwesasne community there. 4 former employees of the Cherokee Nation are suing the tribe's chief for wrongful termination, alleging they were let go because they supported the chief's political opponent in last year's election. The lawsuit was filed in Cherokee Nation District Court last month against Chief Bill John Baker by ex-employees Felicia Olea, Sammy Rusco, Rochelle McAlvain, and Paula Ragsdale. The women claim that immediately after Baker's inauguration, when he assured Cherokee employees they should not fear for their jobs, they were placed on administrative leave and later asked to turn in their keys and equipment. The women supported former Chief Chad Smith in his failed re-election bid. Smith is the attorney representing the women. A Nation spokesman said she could not comment on the suit because of the pending litigation. A Senate committee is recommending the confirmation of Indian Affairs Secretary Arthur Allison, despite questions raised over allegedly illegal cigarette sales at his family's store near Farmington on the Navajo Reservation. The Rules Committee endorsed Allison's nomination this week. week. Senator D.D. Feldman, an Albuquerque Democrat, was the only dissenting vote. Feldman said she supported Allison, but was worried that New Mexico could lose millions of dollars from a nationwide tobacco settlement because of the sale of certain cigarettes on tribal lands. The Attorney General's office says a store operated by Allison's family sold cigarettes prohibited in New Mexico and sold untaxed cigarettes to non-Indians. A lawyer with Allison says the state lacks jurisdiction over those such sales. Allison turned over ownership of the Star Ranch store to her son last July. A northwestern Arizona tribe says it will take over management of the Grand Canyon Skywalk from the Las Vegas developer who built it. David Jin had partnered with the Hualapai tribe to build the glass bridge that extends from the canyon on the reservation over the edge, but the two sides have been in a year-long contract dispute. Jin has alleged that he hasn't received his share of the revenue, while the tribe contends that Jin failed to complete a visitor center. The tribal council voted this week to declare eminent domain over the management contract. A tribal spokesman said Jin will be compensated. Jin had suspected the eminent domain ordinance passed last year was aimed at him and meant as a way for the tribe to avoid explaining revenue. The tribe denies that. And that's going to be another roundup of news from Indian Country. On this edition of the Native News Update, we want to thank you for joining with us. And remember the live stream coming up this Saturday, February 11th, starting around 4 p.m. Central Standard Time at the LCO Casino for the Winter Social Dance. Come back again soon. Miigwech.